Well, we're back at the bunny run again today, and I promised myself yesterday that I would make some repairs. So this is the ramp that goes from downstairs to upstairs, and you can see they keep nibbling this end piece of wood. This means it's really quite a loose fit, and they keep managing to turn it so that it falls through. And the other problem is that there's nothing at the other end stopping it moving, so it slides backwards and forwards like this. So I'm also going to put some edging along here. Here comes the rabbit. Well, there you go, that's how it's supposed to be used. So to get it out, I'm going to have to take the lid off and go in from the top. Okay, don't come up it anymore. There we go. There we go, that's come out. So this is the end that I need to repair, so I'm going to replace this piece of wood here. This is the piece of wood that I'm going to have to replace. But you can see that the one that they put on it is kind of a square section, but it's meant to sit like that on the surface, so it doesn't really have the right shape. So I found myself another piece of wood, which actually, I don't know what it was from, but this actually seems to have a slightly better shape to it, because it can sit flat on the upstairs floor like that, and then this part can screw onto here and be at roughly the right angle. You can see it's a little bit too long at the moment, so I'm going to need to cut it down to size to that length there. So there, I've cut it to length. I actually cut it to length before I take this piece of wood off, because I thought if I take the piece of wood off I might break it and not know how long to make the new piece. Well, I've been using the hammer to smash the bits off, and I noticed there's these staples that are holding it together. That's what was actually holding the pieces of wood together. So obviously that's come off now. This should start to come apart more, and you can see the bottom end of the little staples that are poking through the plywood as well. That's managed to get that bit off the end. This doesn't look the most secure plywood in the world, so I'm going to attach the new piece of wood to these two ends as well. And these are the staples that they used first time around, so obviously I thought I'd replace them with some new staples. Haven't gone in terribly well, but they should hold it for a minute. I'm just going to screw through the ends as well. You can see I've drilled a couple of holes, or drilled one hole and I put a screw into the other hole. It's actually really quite hard wood. I don't know quite what this came from, but it's much harder than the wood that came off it, which might mean that it takes it a little bit longer for the rabbits to nibble it away, so it might last a little bit longer. I'm just going to put this screw into this hole here to keep it together, and then that should be pretty much ready to go back in. Well, I've got that screw in, but I've drilled the hole at a bit of a funny angle and it's come straight through like this, so that hasn't worked very well. So I think I'm going to try re-drilling that one. So that's going at that sort of angle in this direction, and ooh, that kind of angle this way. Is that still straight enough? Still not sure. It might have to come up a bit. Well, it's gone in, but this wood is so tough that I couldn't really get any purchase on the head, and it's completely rounded off the crosshead on that screw, so that's never coming out again or going in any further, to be honest. So we're back out at the rabbit run. Let's just move the lid back so we can get at the hole, and then this whoop, should go down the hole. It should rest on this end. That looks okay. That's resting on the end okay. There we go, and there's the rabbit. Making use of it already. Actually, I just thought it doesn't really need something all the way around. It just needs something here to stop this sliding any further back. I mean, it might need something here as well, but something there would help to start with. So I can just use the spare offcut, and that looks like that would actually sit quite nicely on there and act as a sort of support to prevent it moving any further forward. So if I glue that in position and then drill a couple of holes through there and screw it down, because this is actually a relatively thick piece of wood under there, and that would keep it in position and keep this in position as well. Okay, and then that can go just there. And then I've got to put the screws through those two holes. There we go. That looks pretty good. And that seems to have stopped it being able to move backwards and forwards. I can still lift it out. But if the rabbits are just sliding it around, then they won't be able to do anything. So are you coming back up? No.